Yes, it's a Thursday, the 3rd of August 2023. I'm happy to be back again right here on your TV screen to tell you about sports. So welcome to the Sport Ride. I am Kizike. A whole lot of magical stuff have really been happening. Trust me, you can't even think less about what's really going on. The FIFA Women's World Cup is still very much on. You know, the Nigerian Premier League side, are also on the verge of letting some players go. I mean, some players have actually left. So let's talk about it. MPFL, first of all, let's go dive into that to know what's really going on and what's transpiring right now at the moment. Now, Nigerian Premier League champions Eyimba have released 11 players ahead of the 23 Nigerian Premier Football League season. Sounds to be funny. Now, the People's Elephant made the announcement on their official website on Wednesday. 8 players already have left the club following the expiration of their contract. Now, while 3 others were released on mutual consent. Now, the players also who left the club because of their deal being done at the likes of Emeka Obioma, Philip Ozo, Chigozie Obasi, Adekunle Adeleke, Fatai Abdullahi, Samuel Kalu, Sadiq Abdullah Bubakar, and Moses Ademola Adegambo, Otuke Igbo were also released by mutual consent. Now, Eyimba won a record of 9 MPFL title at the Championship playoff in June. Now, the Abia Giants are also preparing for their CAF Champions League first round against Ali Benghazi of Libya. So, great news for Eyimba. Letting some players go. It's more like a restructuring. They want to try to, put things in place, and we just have to wait to see what comes up next. How would they do coming to the Champions League again in the African scene to know if they're going to get it right now. Away from that story, let's talk about FIFA. Secretary General Fatma Samora has assured the Super Falcons that they will get their 2023 Women's World Cup prize money directly from the Federation and not from the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF. Recall that players are previously training to go on strike for the first time on the campaign against Canada, who are also involved in a salary dispute with their own FA, now requesting equal pay and support with the men's team, and that's what it is now. However, Samora told reports that Super Falcons players have who gets their money, after the draw against Republic of Ireland in the Women's World Cup, that she understands how it's difficult and how it's been that they must face the reality of the country, Nigeria, to be exact. She did, however, emphasize that the prize money would be paid to the players for the first time. Now, Samora, on the other hand, praised the Super Falcons for progressing to the FIFA Women's World Cup for the first time for an African team in the competition. It's because of you that, for the first time in the history of FIFA, the FIFA Women's World Cup prize money will be paid directly to you, the players, Samora said, amid cheers from the 9-time African champion. I must say that I'm proud of you, and as you know, I'm the first woman to be Secretary General of FIFA since the organization was founded back in 1904. And I'm so also an African, and I'm so easily excited about the accomplishment that glorifies women's football and African football. She said, you've won once match here and also Morocco and Zambia, but you are the only team that has made it to the knockout stages yet. I'm also excited because when FIFA President Gianni Infantino announced my name as the new FIFA Secretary General, I was working in Nigeria for the United Nations. So Nigeria is the second home for me. You should continue to believe in yourself and play as a team and be ready to lift the African flag higher in this tournament. And that's from Fatma Samora. I want to talk about this regardless of how much I want to be pacey, regardless of how much I want to go into the next news, regardless of how much I want to jump into the first. But let's talk about this. It sounds bad. Bad is bad. I like to say bad is bad. Now, the Super Falcons, we know the story, right? Before they got to this phase, we know the FIFA World Cup, we know 30,000 US dollar goes to the first round in the group stage. The more you keep going higher, the more it keeps, changing. I know when you get to the round of 16, you go with 60, just the way it goes like that. And, the champion of the tournament will be going home with 270,000 US dollar. That's big. You don't want to convert to Nigeria, right? I'll let you know. Now, for the Falcons now, my take on this, I don't really think this is cool. Reasons are because in Nigeria, our case is quite different. Reasons are, we're talking about pay. These ladies don't own their money. I mean, this is my money. I've done the job for this. I need to be paid. And it feels like the NFF is really trying to hold back on that. That aside. Now, for the Canadian lady, talk about the Canucks. Now, theirs looks quite different. Reason is this. They're contemplating, they're on the protester, they want to get to earn same money with the players. You see quite different. But unlike us, now we're never talking about earning same with the Super Eagles. We are talking about the money being paid at the right time. But this is good news. Bad news on the outside, but good news inside because this money will pay to this lady directly. And that's a wonderful message. Yes, for me. Now, still talking about the FIFA Women's World Cup. Magic happens everywhere. Brazil were knocked out of the 23 FIFA Women's World Cup following a draw against Jamaica in Melbourne on Wednesday afternoon. Jamaica also made history as the first Caribbean nation to reach the round of 16 in the history of the competition. Brazil dominated proceeding for a larger part of the contest, but failed to breach the Jamaica defense. Now the Reggae Girls created very little chances going forward, but such was their work at the back that mattered later. Jamaica also joined Switzerland and Japan as one of just 3 nations yet to concede goal at the Australia and New Zealand 2023. Now, legendary player forward of Brazil, Marta, started, I felt so bad for her though when I was seeing the game. She started, aiming to become the first player to, I feel so bad, to score in 6 World Cup, but her night and possibly her Women World Cup career ended in the 81st minute as Jamaica survived a nearly nervy final moment to secure their place in the history. Congratulations to Jamaica. Growing up, I used to feel like I used to think it used to be Jamaica. I like to use the word Jamaica, not until I had a friend who was a reggae guy, like a Rasta. He said Rasta is peace, and he made me to pronounce as well Jamaica. So if you want to rate Brazil, rate Jamaica. There's no way you want to compare. Football is magical, I tell you. You want to rate them, talk about Brazil. They've always had the edge over any team in the world. This is what they do. They sleep football, they eat football, they drink football. All they say is football. Football is more like what they love to do. But the story is quite different right now. Let's give it to these ladies who are Jamaicans International for progressing to this first Caribbean side to get this done. Now, moving up to World of Golf, come with me, don't go anywhere. Stressing the need to have the desire ahead of the All-PGA Tour, veteran Adam Scott said he's ecstatic that Tiger Woods will be part of the making the process that happens on Tuesday. Now, it was announced that Woods now is part of the board that will help steer the direction of the PGA Tour, which agreed to play up demands that will prohibit making changes in the future without the approval of players' directors. With Tiger Woods' addition, players now outnumber independent board member by 6-5. I applaud Tiger for volunteering to go up on the board, Scott said on Wednesday in advance of this week, a Whiteham Championship, which is the final event before the FedEx playoff. I think it's fantastic for the tour moving forward, and I think he also is also kind of what is aimed in the right time to have the option about how the tour looks like moving forward, to be honest. And that's in the world of golf. Everybody knows the world of golf was really transpiring, and it's just been golf is just something else, a game. They tell me golf is the game for the big guys, and of course, yes, I know the Ikoyi Golf Club right in Nigeria. I know about that. Looks very big. And you talk about golf now, it's about the PGA Tour, it's about LRV. Yesterday on the show, I was talking about it, and I know how these legends of the PGA Tour feel. They've always wanted the PGA Tour to have his stance. Jay Monahan feels like it looks not consistent in what he do. I'm not trying to disrespect his government, but I'm only trying to say they don't want a merger. They don't want a merger. They want a PGA Tour. If there's going to be an LRV golf, maybe LRV should be just on a place, but not connecting with the PGA Tour. They don't feel it's okay. They don't feel it's so cool. They don't feel it's ideal to see the merger. But Tiger Woods, legendary 15-time major champion any time in the day, knows everything. Looks to be not on the right side, and that's the reason why he's really keeping his tab, keeping his stand, keeping his chance, trying to be strong in what he's doing. But that's just history for another day. We'll talk about that. Let's quickly go on talking about football now. I've got this one now. Premier League champions Manchester City are on the verge of selling a transfer deal for Croatian defender Josko Vardio this current summer transfer window. According to reports, City have agreed $98.6 million deal with RB Leipzig for the 21-year-old. He's reportedly set to undergo his medical later this week. Guardiola also has been linked with the likes of Citizens throughout the summer window. If he eventually joins City, he will be linking up with fellow countryman Croatian player Maciej Kovacic, who moved to Etihad last month. Vardio also was one of the Croatian star performers at the 22 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, where they clinched on the bronze medal. Many City defenders like Kyle Walker, João Cancelo, and Emerick Laporte linked with move out of City this transfer window. City are reportedly keen on completing a deal for Josko Vardio before the clash with Arsenal in the Community Shield, which takes place on Sunday, August 6th at Wembley Stadium. He notched to 1 assist in 30 Bundesliga champion games last season. Leipzig also accumulated 66 points from 34 Bundesliga appearances last season, and also they are 10th in the division. Now, Man City finished first position in last season's Premier League after gathering 89 points from 38 games, and it is what it is right there in the news for Manchester City. I want to talk about City. They got a great manager, no doubt. They got a great team, no doubt. They have everything they want for themselves. If you talk about City, I would tell you for free, right, that City this season coming up would be a thorn on the flesh of many Premier League clubs. They are not really letting so many players go. They are not letting so many big names in Portugal who have left the club, the likes of El Gundogan, the skipper, right? Riyad Mahrez left for Al Ali, who else is leaving. Now, for those that believe in the likes of João Cancelo, the likes of Kyle Walker, they will be replacing a whole lot of players, you know. So it's more like you take away and you bring in, and it feels cool for you. Now, what is Pep Guardiola trying to do? I like to call him the masterclass manager any time of the day. Reasons are because he knows the Premier League is highly competitive. He knows he won the treble. He knows eyes is going to be on City. He knows that they need to make sure that they get to clinch on trophy this time around. They won the treble and they feel like it's not enough. So maybe Oliver Twist to one team more. So Pep Guardiola right now might be getting to sign the Croatian international Josko Gvardiol. And if eventually Gvardiol makes that move, he will be paired with his own countryman, compatriot, Matej Kovacic, the Croatian international. You know the Croatian team, right? The like of Zlatko Dalic. And when you talk about Croatian, it's all about the yeah. You know, the Modric, you know, the Perisic, you know, the Ivanovic, Kronic, you know, Rakitic, that's the name as it goes, Matej Kovacic. I think just Gvardiol looks far different. But we just have to wait to know what comes up next. If City would really maybe just get to sign that guy. But I won't tell you this, it's very close that you can ever imagine. City just will have to sign Josko Gvardiol. And also Aymeric Laporte will be leaving the club, so it's a vacuum space being, I beg your pardon, being open right there for Josko Gvardiol to just come in to pair in. And maybe we might be seeing City play a 3 at the back, or maybe a 4 at the back, or 3 at the attack when they attack you and it gets you on the verge of, you know, running helter-skelter. So for Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, any time and the day, we know they are ready for the season to start. Now let's talk about Arsenal, possibly wrapping up the show. Yes, Gabriel Jesus was ruled out of Arsenal Emirates Cup clash with AS Monaco due to a knee injury. Arsenal confirmed Gabriel Jesus' exclusion from the game on the tweet in their handle. According to reports, talk about the Gunners, the former Man City striker will be assessed to know the event and extent of the injury. Now, Gabriel Jesus suffered a knee injury while featuring for Brazil against Cameroon at the 23 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Now, this injury saw Jesus miss 15 games for Arsenal and return in March. Unfortunately, his return failed to inspire Mikel Arteta's side to the first league since 2004. And what do you make about Gabriel Jesus? I don't want to hear this. It doesn't sound friendly for me. It doesn't sound TV friendly for me because I want to see Gabriel Jesus resume the season with Arsenal. No complaints, no excuses this time. He's a wonderful player. Made a move from Manchester City, joined Arsenal last season. I can't say he didn't live up to expectations. Of course he did, but the season is coming up. The Community Shield is also closed. I just want to say Gabriel Jesus, not happy he's going to be missing the, not happy he made a friendly. I'm not happy he might not be starting with Arsenal this season. So we wait to know what comes up next about Gabriel Jesus. Now, still in the world of football, Lionel Messi scored 2 more goals, giving him 5 in 3 matches for Inter Miami as he led the Herons to a 3-1 win over Orlando City on Wednesday in the League Cup round of 32 match at the Fort Lauderdale Flair. In the 7th minute, Miami also Robert Taylor claimed a pass over the Orlando defense to an unmarked Messi in the penalty area. Now the Argentine World Cup player Lionel Messi chested it down but approached in the 6-yard box, then volleyed a left-footed shot. Inter Miami right now held a 2-1 lead before Messi sealed the outcome in the 72nd minute. Joseph Martinez chipped pass found Messi in the almost same spot, and Messi knocked in right-footed volley. Martinez's penalty kick in the 51st minute put Miami on top after Orlando Cesar Araujo had leveled the score in the 17th minute. Now Miami advances to the round of 16 match against FC Dallas. The contest will be played in Frisco, Texas on either Monday, Sunday or Tuesday. The League Cup began with everything from the Major League Soccer and Mexico Liga MX competing. Now the group stage also narrowed on the field of 32 for the start of the single elimination knockout rounds, which began on Wednesday. Now the final is scheduled for August 19, and what more can be said about this man? When you look at your screen, you can see that man is magical, exceptional player. What's the better word to call Messi? I think Messi is just out of the world, right? I think he's a top notch should be okay for me. I think Messi doesn't have a limit. People like to say the word that the sky is your limit, and I feel like when you talk about limit, maybe you should talk about the universe. I think Messi is just something else to talk about. Watch your screen, see that hit play. He's just in the right place, just at the right time. He knows he's going to score. He knows I need to be here. And Messi is a World Cup winner. He keeps scoring goals. My only fear right now for Messi is the fact that maybe he just might. I wouldn't want to say I'm a Ronaldo fan or Messi fan. I think I found those both players. But just maybe, in life you never know until you try. Messi is just coming so close. and maybe just might get to clinch on that record with Ronaldo. I don't know. I'm just being optimistic, and I'm just having this fear for Ronaldo. But moving on with the show, trying to wrap up, let's get to talk about United States international Timothy Weah, son of legendary George Opong Weah, scored the first goal for his Juventus side in his career as the Italian giant defeated Real Madrid 3-1 in a preseason friendly in Florida on Wednesday, where who joined Juventus from Leo last month, tucked away a close-range finish after collecting a pass from US teammate Weston McKennie to give the Serie A side a 2-0 lead with that was 20 minutes in front of the sell-out 63,565, let me get it right. It is 63,503 crowd in Orlando, right? That way it is. Now, McKennie also, who spent the second half of the last season alone, at Premier League side Leeds United, were in struggle time to make impact, also had in hand his team opening goal, which came inside the first 60 seconds. Neat approach play led by McKennie, calling a shot wild against the foot of the post, while Moise Kean also on the hand to turn in the rebound. Now, Real Madrid, who once again started a new campaign, signed with Jude Bellingham, were slowly to get into the contest, but eventually pulled a goal back 7 minutes before halftime through Brazil international Vinicius Jr. A super ball was from Toni Kroos, sent to Vinicius, bearing down the Juventus goal, and the striker calmly lifted his finish over Wojciech Szczesny to score. Now, Real Madrid chased an equalizer in the disjointed second half before Dusan Vlahovic made a game save for Juventus deep into stoppage time. Wednesday game was Real Madrid's final preseason fixture before the kick-off their La Liga campaign against Athletic Bilbao on August 12th. Juventus also, meanwhile, will now return to Italy to prepare for their season opener against Udinese on August 20. And it is what it is. Now, still on football, Italian goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon has retired from football at the age of 45. He is currently 45, announced on Wednesday after 28-year-old he has reached exceptional milestone for club and country. Buffon, who is in 2006, he lifted the World Cup, won 10 Serie A titles. That's big. Wait, it got me stuttering on the show. I'm going to go back again to this. He won the World Cup in 2006, lifted the World Cup and won 10 Serie A titles with Juventus and Ligue 1 title with Paris St Germain. That's all, folks. You gave me everything. I gave you everything. We did it together. Buffon said in a statement widely regarded as one of the greatest keepers of all time. He ended his career where he started at Parma, who are the Italian second-tier division, having struggled with injuries in his final season. Now, Gianluigi Buffon joined Juve from Parma in 2001 and spent more of his career with the club except for a season at Paris St Germain back in 2018-2019 before returning to Turin and then to Parma back in June. That was June 2021. Now, wrapping up the show, it got me smiling. Arsenal on the verge. Arsenal have wrapped up their 2023-24 preseason campaign with an Emirates Cup final win against AS Monaco in North London. The Gunners retained their trophy as part of their traditional summer match at the Emirates Stadium, but they were forced to rely on penalty shootout to secure victory against League One opposition. Yusuf Fofana, early header, increased the nerves amongst the Arsenal Gunners, who are home faithful. Now, before Eden Ketia volleyed home his first goal of preseason to level the tie just before halftime, despite a flurry of late changes from Mikel Arteta, the game was settled by 8-3. A great shootout as Aaron Ramsdale denied Takumi Minamino and Gabriel Magalhaes converted the winning spot kick. And that's what it is for us now. I'll have to call it a wrap now. It is time for me to go, leave you, stay back, don't go anywhere. We've got a whole lot of, wonderful, exciting edition of its kind. Stay here, Voice of the People TV. My name is Kizzy K. It's been really fun talking sports with you. But I return hopefully on a Friday, which happens to be tomorrow, to give you exciting sporting stories. Stay with us, go nowhere. Bye-bye for now.